Never done this in the conference room before, have you?
It's all right. That's only a $4,000 table. No big deal. John Say isn't here. Don't worry about it.
John Say's not here?
No, John Say, it's the guy who ordered the table.
Oh, nice.
And did flips backwards when he found out how much it
Boy,
was.
Okay, now this is a pad, and this pad has this in that, okay? It's not pretty, you know, it doesn't come in nice shiny rolls because it's made by homeless people. It's kind of interesting how we did that. But it's a real simple thing to do. But
Well, do we want to do the pig one first?
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do them at the same time,
Okay.
because you can see by volume anyway.
About
Is it
time.
about the same? So I'm going to put that in there, and I don't know how I'm going to do this. I guess I'll do that in there. And then what I'll do is I'll push this down, and push this down, push this down, push this down, push this down, push this down. Well, okay, good. Now, one way to maybe evaluate this, because I've never done this against a pig, a lot of what I do is the first time, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring these up simultaneously, okay? Simultaneously, what do you see?
Yeah, you're just dragging the pigs.
Well, yeah, but this is, see how that was cleaner, that wasn't? Okay, now, watch this. I'm going to bring this back down, and I'm just going to turn it over. I'm going to bring this back down, and I'm going to turn it over. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this down a little bit, and press this down a little bit, okay? And so I don't know if this is, you know, saturated or not. Let me open it up and give it its full due. I'll just let that sit there, give this its full due, then come over here, give it its full due, okay? And so, you know, I don't know if that, you consider that saturated? Would you kind of throw that away at this point in time? Okay, so let's throw that away. Okay, and so on its half there was still some left. And so this was 3 ounces. Okay, now, I don't know, kind of equal maybe, maybe not. But I would consider this saturated too. But just the...
So can you just throw that in the garbage? Is that, or I mean, do you have a disposal methodology?
Throw it in the garbage.
Throw it in the garbage.
So and it's disposed of. Whereas this, you could set up a composting system, and you see how that's still leaching out. Watch this. You know, okay, I'm going to get 1 drop. I'm sorry. You know,
You're going to get cocoa.
as Steve Martin
Now hold
said,
that.
excuse me. Now, if I hold this up, we're getting some constant drips. Okay? So you would say it was leaching a little bit, right? Not containing it. Now, the next question is okay, I can get another little piece of that pad. Let me do that here, just a little piece. And so we're going to come in and try to mop up the rest. And so that's pretty much done, right? So now what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and get a little bit of this and mix it in on our half. And so now this is getting saturated, right? I might need a little bit more, that's fine. But I would say so far that's somewhat apples to apples, wouldn't you? Now notice how we got our line of defense here so that it doesn't leach over onto our side. And so what I'll do is I'll just, no, that's all right, I won't, that's good. And so I can take a little bit more of this and keep working it in. And the next thing you know, I'm going to have a surface that's got very little residue to it, right? Now, if I was to tip this way, you're going to see that try to run off and through all that. And it's kind of overpowering it. There's not a lot there. But the point is that it's going to capture it, okay? And so you can see up here where it stopped. Now this is going to get through maybe because that's got a lot of power to it. But if I give it just a little bit of reinforcement, I'm certain it won't get through that. But we could leave this here for another minute or two, and you can just see how the oil absorbent will stop that from leaching. The other thing I've done is once we thought one of these was full, we just set it out to dry. We came back and used it and saturated some more. But so that's pretty much the demo. And the neat thing is that if in fact, hand me that other little pad that's in there.
You got this one?
Yeah, open it up, just get it. You could come in with a pad like this, and you could clean it up like that, and then put this back in a 5-gallon pail, and very easily reuse it, and reuse it, and reuse it, and reuse it, until it looks something like this. With that, I don't think you could do that, right?
No.
There's no way that that could happen.
It just sits on the floor.
And so then,
I'm serious. It just sits on the floor and throw another one on top of it.
Yeah, right, right.
That's what we
when
do.
we were at Gulf Power, they just said, we don't even use that stuff. It was pretty funny. I guess not if you're a safety guy. Okay,
Yeah, we have no sense of humor.
so now
We're all about
you
safety,
sit there and
sir.
you take some of this leftover just powder stuff, and to finish it off, you can just finish it off like this with some fresh stuff. And then the point is that you can let that finished off stuff just blow away, because the microbe has captured the hydrocarbon, and it's gone.
Sniff it. Smoke it.
And so you can
Pinch
kind of-
between your cheek and gum
Yeah,
right there. That'll keep you regular.
And so now you can hear my fingers rubbing the
Right.
plastic as if there's no lubricant
Oh,
there.
yeah.
So so in terms of that, I mean that to me is a pretty compelling, look at what we've got. And then I'll just take the rest of this and I'll just clean out the rest of the tray. And it doesn't matter if it's diesel or gasoline or hydraulic fluid. Hydraulic fluid lines break all the time. And I'll tell you what, I might use a little bit more of that just to clean my hand if nothing else.
Oh, we got those, so watch
That's all right,
this.
just pour it all in.
All of it?
Yeah, sure, it's broken. Oops. There you go. I got it, thanks. And so now the interesting thing is people go, well, clay pellets are $8 a bag, and your stuff is $32 a bag. And I go, that's right, it's about 4 times. There's a video that we're going to share with you that we did at DFW Earth Day, where we took a pound of the other stuff that Emergent Supply sells, 2 of their other products, and then we put this, and I made 3 of those pyramids. And I lifted it up, and you'll see the leaching. You'll see all the stuff. And the point is a 1/4 pound of our stuff did better than a pound of the other stuff
We put in over 10 ounces of
fluid.
oil. Yeah. Yeah. So on a cost basis equivalent, we absorb more with less. With the same cost of product, I guess is the best way to put it.
And so now you couldn't take that pig and you couldn't clean up the rest of the pig of this bucket or any site as well as I'm cleaning it up like that. And now this, the tray is pretty clean. So that's it. And then these pads can be used and reused. And I thought,
That's what I like about it.
Yeah.
yeah, they can be reused and reused till they're saturated. And as I'm rubbing that out, I'll come back with my knuckle, and there's very little residue there. The longer you keep it on, the more it'll pull it out of the concrete, and the more it'll pull it out of asphalt. If you've got dirt you're working on, that's the best stuff, because you can work it in with a stiff push broom. Usually I have a little corn whisk broom, but you just work it in until it dries up.